Yo, alright, we made it to Friday. Give me 1 second here. Always in a rush in the morning if I stream and trade, because there's a lot of stuff that I have to set up and kick off, and I give myself like 15 minutes before I wake up. Alright, does that work? Yep. Alright. So yesterday I did really well. The day before I lost, and then Monday and Tuesday were wins, so got one loss this week, but up overall. It's been kind of a tricky month. So I've had 3 losses, but one of the losses was so bad that it really equals 2 of them. I just couldn't let it go. It was a really shitty day. Gotta get out of that. And then there was 2 days earlier this month where we just barely broke even, so might want to consider changing the definition of what a loss is. Like, if we don't hit the daily target, that might also should be considered a loss, because it really didn't mean anything. You just kind of wasted your time. So I'm debating about that. But yesterday, everything flowed pretty well, so let's see if I'm on the right side of things. I lost on Monday because it looked like, let me switch to Tesla because we day traded that one. That's usually my go-to stock if I can't find anything else on the list, and I haven't found anything on the list that matched all my criteria for well over a month now. So I've just been having to do the scalping game, which I've said before I hate doing, but I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. So when I last streamed, it looked like this was going to be a probable bottom, and I'd expect a high higher than the high that was left on this candle, but it didn't happen. It dropped down instead, so that kind of screwed me over. But yesterday, I expected a low lower than that low, especially since we did the gap down on that one into below support. The thing just kind of collapsed after that. And then yesterday there was Netflix earnings, and Netflix did not do so well. That was an interesting one. I wish I had played it, but honestly, unless I was completely right and got it right on the nose, I saw a couple people did get it just right. I would have gotten fucked because that range is huge. Look at that range, 640 to 565. That is massive. Holy shit. Even if you tried doing a bottom play and think that you were far enough to like grab the edge of it, it still went below that. So that definitely fucked up the market. So I'm expecting looks like the bounce already happened. We might expect a pullback, but we'll have to see. So things might get a little bit confusing. But it's a Friday, so it sucks to go into the weekend a loser, so we'll see what happens there. So the plan is get the money, get out, and I want to play a game near Automata today, assuming we can win and get out in time. I added the character to the thumbnail. Okay, let me take a look at Tesla.
From Bashar Harden. Report and block that shady link, buddy.
Wow, yeah. Bye. Good call out, cat. Smart AI. Alright, we got 2 minutes left. Where are we ending up on Tesla here? Level 2 says 148. So this thing did another drop down from that Netflix reporting. Everything kind of dropped off. So 148.80. So that's not even on my screen right now. Let me get the extended hour stuff on. Wow, so we've made a really low 145. Okay, and then we've got a high here for the day. So we're already kind of living a bounce, so my expectations are just kind of a rollover. But it might do one more push. We gotta watch it as it is. It might be a little complicated. Sometimes they just like to have things just plugged in one direction on a Friday and fuck everybody. But there's also, hey, there's a weekend. We don't want to get our assets wrapped up in something we can't get out of. Okay, so this is the high. We're below the 200. Looks good. Alright, get ready to rock. Just want to get in, get out, play a game. Okay, positioning's good. I'd like to see it bounce up, so I can maybe get a short in, because if it already drops, it's going to be harder to really get the best value for the direction that I think it's going. Wait for the first minute
Bot
here.
Invasion alert. Akar_pet_love. Time to kick him to the curb.
Yep, already blocked him. Honestly, this is kind of dangerous too. You don't know how far this thing's gonna go up. I've done that way too many times. So you're coming up into resistance. This is a hell of a tail, though. Alright, maybe I'll play the other way and they'll prove it otherwise. Alright, get ready to flatten if this thing collapses.
Yeeting out them unwanted guests. Akar_pet_love.
Yeah, actually
showing them the
mold,
door with
so
style.
let me get out of that real quick. Switching one more push up into, but it's not doing it, so it is holding me open. But we need to see a breach above here. So this is above the... Damn it. Fuck. Okay. Man, that is fast. So this is the pre-market. And now we're above the pre-market high. But we are getting into resistance here. So we're gonna need to see what goes on. Might just see another bounce back into, but we kind of did that. We kind of swooped in. So I didn't catch the bounce. It pulled back in way too deep. Now this red line was a long-term support line that had kind of gapped down below. So I still feel like I want to see it roll over, but this is quite the baseline to be putting together. I do see the market pulling back a little bit, but it looks like it's kind of formed a base as well. Damn, that is quite the push-up. Fuck. So it's basically making up the gap from the Netflix drop. See how this candle closes. So you're going up against resistance, you're going up against the moving average, you made up a gap.
Observing that hit volume, Akar_pet_love. Keep an eye on the activity like a pro.
Didn't close. I should have waited for it to close. It almost looked like it. Got 10 seconds left. Let's see if I get blown out of the water here. This is quite the strong base, so this is going to be So we have the candle took us to new high. Might try to make one more high and get the stops out, but this is quite up there. Ah, shit, did that... Okay, we did get profit, just very, very slight on that one. Okay, now we want to break this. See if it tries to retest this area. Alright. Now the interesting thing is if it breaks below here. So I want to watch for that, because this... I am gonna be Johnny on the spot here to cover, just in case, because we haven't, might give us a hell of a bounce, too. So I want to see it break below that red line and then hold there. And it might do something spectacular, like break down below the, that baseline point. Alright, I'm gonna cover again, because I want to see it close and then kind of come back up and then fail, and then I still have shares to give. Can't look at the volume right now. I can look at the chart real quick, just to see. Looks like the same shit as TPL. I'll do further investigation in a few minutes. Whenever you see something stuck like that where the candle's not really forming, I mean, there's really nothing pushing the price. I want to see something like Tesla. Okay, so it did retest here. Okay. If it does get above the top of this candle, I'm going to cover everything until it breaks. Oh, holy shit, okay.
NVDA, the volume beast, Akar_pet_love. That bad boy's rocking the charts.
Yeah, Nvidia is massive. But the stock is so expensive that it has a massive spread, so it's a little bit of a... kind of like riding a bull. Alright, so we now definitively broke
Trading
below. I want to
stocks
see
like
it kind
a
of come
kid's
back
game.
up. Not like this.
Akar_pet_love. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
It would be interesting if we can get to something down here. Alright, so this is good. Let me see if I can add something to this. I have a really good position here. But we haven't broke the low of this, that's a concern, so I'm gotta get ready for this. That is a really deep correction, though. It might bounce one more time, but I don't really expect it to make a real attempt to get up here again. Okay, break through the open. Sorry, I'm gonna look up something on the browser real quick on the side in case my window's gone. Oh god, HIB has hardly any volume. It's only traded 5,800 shares. Like, I won't even touch anything that has less than 1 million volume. Because that means the institutions aren't involved in it. Because they can buy... I mean, I can move HIB. So no, it's shit. Sorry to say. That should be one of your criteria when you're doing a search, honestly. There's a lot of things that the numbers obfuscate. You know, like, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. It's kind of like that. You don't get everything out of those reports. So now my expectation is at some point it's going to be bouncing up here, and I want to be ready for it. This is a pretty significant area. At some point I want to see, so it's got a lower low, at some point it's going to be able to bounce up here, and then I want to get it short somewhere in this range. Okay. Let me see how this closes. If it gets wiped out by a green bar, I'm going to flatten. And then that should log us in for 500. The other thing to keep in mind is that Tesla's had a very tight range for a few days, so it hasn't hit its ATR target. Possibly could today, but maybe not until the afternoon. Like I said, it might have to pop up here and grab some more liquidity before it rolls over again. Right now we're at 555, but I'm closing it out if it gets above this bar. And I hope I'm fast enough to see that happen. They can also juke you. They can run it up above real quick and then roll it over. But the alternate scenario is, instead of rolling it over, it actually spikes up, and I want to be able to get my shares out before it reaches what I expect is the secondary rollover point. I'm going to take 600 here if it comes back down here. If it doesn't, then we're just going to have to wait a bit. Or we can just call it good. I mean, $500 in 15 minutes is not bad. Alright. So I'm calling it good here. So we are profitable today. So now we just need to not fuck up the rest of the time. So my expectations now are, like I said, some type of a grab up here, and then we can start shorting it and have it roll over, possibly the target. So far so good on a Friday. Okay, that's a hell of a bar. You know, anything can happen, so you just gotta be nimble. I can also see the market bouncing as well. So we could play this the other way too. Let's see if this holds the open and we can go long. That's a hell of a bounce bar. See if it retests. Yeah, I took one little share on here. Maybe it'll get us to 600. Because that is a heck of a bounce. It might just have a secondary move to it. So it's going to be tricky. We're going to have to flip here. So I want to see it break up and above. That's a hell of a move there. Let me at least take something off the list here. Okay. Watching. Not holding right now. Give it a minute though. We'll know if the wick of that candle gets taken out. We'll have to flatten. It's tricky because that was a hell of a bounce. Alright. Got a little bit out of it. This could be a retest, but I really wanted to see it move more. And see where things close up here. This is kind of a traffic jam point. Hell of a bar. Got a retest. Market's also kind of bouncing too, but it's going up into resistance, so I still wanted to see it roll over from here. This would be a perfect spot, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen. You would know if it's accumulation if it did a lower low and kind of did the same thing too, maybe not this strong. It's nowhere near the support point, which is down here. Maybe it's like a release valve type of area. Alright. Till it breaks some of this stuff, I can't go short on it. We did hit the 15-minute mark. Is there anything that we can go along with? Apple or Amazon, huh? Amazon's boring. Ah, shit. Amazon moved too much. What about Apple? Apple might be a scenario, but it has to reach below the 15-minute mark. Maybe I'll throw a couple of shares its way. Apple's really freaking boring. So the expectation would be to break the low of the 15-minute and then go down, but it hasn't moved much today, so maybe if it does breach, it might bounce. Okay, so we got another thing here. I'm keeping it light for the rest of the day. I'm gonna keep my wins intact. I don't want to go below 500. Well, we know how that works out. It's hard to get the stop quite right on it. Alright, still in the area where I wanted to get short, but it did retest multiple times. I mean, it's not against any support area, but it did go lower than yesterday's low, so I guess it's fulfilled the criteria that I was looking for, even if it didn't continue. Market has a area here that it got rejected from, so this is kind of a retest too. We're stuck in between two different areas here. It's kind of like Tesla, where we have that low and the bottom here. So this is kind of why I look at the futures and the individual stock that I'm looking at, just to kind of give me a gauge on what it's doing. Alright, so we're still in the area where I wanted to get short. Could be tricking me out though. I want to see a break, and then maybe a slight little bump up, and then drop off. But like I said, this is a hell of a pushback. Alright, so that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Subsequent bar, I want it to come up and fail, and then I'll get short. But if it doesn't start working out, I guess we'll call it good and move on to a game, because I already have decent money in that 15-minute period. So I want to keep the gains part of... Damn it, sometimes it does that too. I want to see a retest before it goes back up. Still might get it. But also needs to break this area too. Shit. So it just kind of ran below. I don't want to see a run below though. I want to see it kind of weaken up. Otherwise this feels like a grab to move higher. But we are against the moving average. It is short where I wanted it, but I wanted to see things a little bit differently. See what we got going in Apple. I should have, I didn't consult the daily chart. I have no idea where this thing is. Alright, I do expect a lower low. But to get to target might be a little bit asking for too much. In fact, it could have just been a little bit of a wipeout. Running higher. Like, just a slightly lower low, because it hasn't moved that much today, so if it had more conviction to the downside, I would have expected it to really not hold like that. But we'll start to cover here if we can get some opportunity. Meanwhile, Tesla did do the thing. This one I'm not going to actively manage. So we got two positions going on once. I don't like to do that either. So we gotta watch out for this thing. So it did the thing that I was looking for. It's a matter of seeing if it actually breaks that really significant bar or not. Apple has not broken its 15-minute low again. So we got two different things going on. I hope I don't get fucked at the same time on both of them. Okay, did not break below here, so we gotta be worried about that. Got a hell of a bounce. Still losing an Apple. I'm surprised I'm down that much in Apple. Doesn't really move all that much. Alright. Back to Tesla. We want to see this thing get broken. It did what I wanted to do, but it's giving some fits before it heads to its destination. And if it can't break through here, then we definitely need to get concerned. Gonna watch Apple on the 15-minute scanner here. Alright, so Tesla's still going down. Apple hanging in there. Oh, there we go. That's a nice little fuck you. Alright. Fucking finally, Apple. Come back here and take your lumps. Tesla's broken below. Okay, 1 share of Apple gone. 2 shares of Apple gone. Fuck Apple. Up 20 bucks in Apple. Still holding Tesla. I'd like to see this thing get broken as well, but this is still kind of an accumulation point. So we're up over $600. I wanted to get to that point here, but we're gonna see what happens with this, Alright. Let's push him back up a little bit. So we're up over 600. Let me get the exact amount from my broker. And then I think we'll call it good. There's no reason to really push. Although Fridays are a day where if you come back in the afternoon, it might just roll over. No, we're not over 600 yet. We still got $8 left. So this is a tough little spot here. I still want to go low, but it might go against you before that happens and take you out. So if I watch Apple, this is the candle that took us too low. It's trying to get above it right now. See if it makes it below here. It's tricky. I can see the market making a baseline. Okay, we'll see here. I'm getting ready to flatten if I get fucked. Alright, that should get us to 600, right? Nope, I'm a dumbass. Alright. I'll short Apple and get the last couple of bucks I need. Apple has a nicer level than what Tesla has. Tesla was inside of a, kind of that bar trap. I still expect it to go lower, it's just that I don't really have a really good location on it. One that's really clean. Okay. Try one more time here. There we go. Alright, so $600 it is. Bingo blango. Put on a trading clinic today, you fuckheads. So, man, we could probably get more, but this would be a good place to end the story. This thing might go to target today. It's reaching below. Alright. So we made our gains. The gains are secured in my pocket. It's a Friday. No need to be an asshole. So, let me write some stuff down on my list here. I gotta write down my notes. I'm sure you're gonna come back here in a few hours. I'm like, god damn it, I should have held. But the market did a retest, so the jury's still out on it. But as you can see, it went up to the level where I was expecting to get short. You know, it was a little bit tricky because it could have broken up a little bit more, but I got out a tad too early. But once I started to see the, my expectation was to breach below, retest, you got it right here, then go short, and then I got into it. And the specter of this bar was a little bit too strong for me. I would have liked to see it kind of dribble up. But it didn't do any retest. Oh, I guess it did do a retest. So it was a little bit tricky there. Alright, let me finish up writing up my notes. I got done before 7 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And then what else was on the list here? I try to keep track of some of the stats. So Apple is a target. So Apple, there was the 15-minute low on Apple that it did breach. And we made some profit off of it. And this was 36% of its ATR. So I'm gonna come back later today and I'm gonna keep track of if this thing actually goes to that 70% mark. My expectation is that a stock will at least try to get to this red line or green line every day. And what I try to do is I have a scanner to take a look if everything matches my criteria, and this one does. So this one's outside the range of the previous candle. It's in a bearish location. It's ATR is increasing, which means it's been moving faster every day, or more. The spread in which it moves has been increasing, so that should lead to more likelihood that it get the target. The problem is that this morning it was so constrained it hardly ever moved, and it took a while for it to break that initial candle. So, let's see if it gets here at the end of the day. This would have been something that matched my criteria, but we made our money in Tesla doing the scalping thing, so I didn't feel the need to play around in Apple all that much. Alright. So what I want to do, because I want to have this in a separate VOD, I'm going to stop this stream, change my category, and then come back. Because I hate trying to extract the game footage out of the stock footage. It just takes an extra step I don't want to have to do. Ugh. Let me get everything set up here. Oh, it's nice to be done so early, though. So what you could do is try to see if it tries to bounce back up to the bottom of that 15-minute bar and then sells off and goes to target. That'd be the dream scenario for that one if you're still gonna trade. Meanwhile, Tesla double bottom tails. At some point, it might break below it, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna stop the stream, change my category, and then come back, and we'll go into game mode. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. Anyway, if you continue to trade, don't lose it all. Over $600 in 15 minutes is good. Man, I fucking did a clinic on day trading today. Everything kind of went the way that my expectations went. Alright, be right back.